Welcome to Crushing Brevard. We have Josh Kucher with us. Josh is a local entrepreneur and a cool dude. And thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here.
No, we're thrilled, and we know Josh from Ichabod's beach side. You can see probably all of us over there a little too often, but so if you ever want to meet us in person and you don't want to come into Crush and talk to me as the owner, we'll probably see you over there. But Josh is just a cool guy with a great story, and why don't you fill us out? You're a local boy, right?
Yeah,
for the most part.
Spent most of my life here, but I was
Okay.
originally born in New York.
Yep.
But went to elementary, middle school, high school here. Popped up to Florida State for a few degrees, and then headed out to San Francisco for about 6 years, and I moved back in November of 2015.
Okay. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that San Francisco experience. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. By far my favorite city domestically of all time. There's just, you turn a corner and your breath gets taken away from something, whether it's a piano stuck to the side of a building and you're like, what? Or a Golden Gate Bridge or the Bay Bridge. But when I went undergrad in finance and real estate, I graduated in 2009 in the depths of the recession.
That was a good time.
Yeah, so they created the Master of Science in Finance program, and they offered me to be a member of the inaugural class, and they would pay for it. So I was like, leave college without a job, or stay one more year. So I got my master's in finance. Things still weren't right at that time. So I ended up taking a job selling suits by appointment in San Francisco.
Okay.
So when I moved out there, I basically would cold call attorneys, executives, tech people, pretty much anybody that would pick up the phone, and then I would go to them, pitch them on, you're too busy to go, to go to the store. Why don't I?
Bring the store to you,
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. So that didn't work out as well as I thought. I was under the impression I was going to be making $48,000 after tax per year in San Francisco, but it turns out it was before tax. So
and there's a little bit of tax in California last time I checked. So
at that time I think the state income tax alone was 13%, and then federal taxes. And my rent was $1,800, and I was taking home about $1,400 a paycheck, something like that.
That's not good.
No, the financials didn't add up that well.
You didn't need the master's in finance to figure out that was kind of crappy.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you learn life the way you go. It's it'll hit you in the face real quick. So. Yeah, I basically was at the point I was eating ramen noodles like once every other day. I was thinner then, so thanks for noticing. It was a great experience. I ended up having a client of mine sent me a text message. I was like, hey, we're hiring at LinkedIn, send me a resume. And I just got a $400 paycheck for like the month. And I was like, perfect, a godsend, because I'm thinking I had to grab a stick and a handkerchief and walk my dogs and I all the way back to Florida. And he responds, he goes, oh shit, wrong Josh. Send me your resume anyway.
That's not good.
I was like,
that's not good.
Build me up and break me down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's life. So ultimately, he helped me shop out my resume. I was the first person he ever referred to get hired. At the time, my manager, I was the first person he ever, direct hire or direct report he made. The guy who referred me is now a senior director at a tech company in Boston.
Okay.
The guy who hired me is about to be a VP at LinkedIn.
Okay.
So it worked out pretty well.
Okay. So you did, what'd you do for LinkedIn?
The first 4 or 5 years, I was an account executive, so I focused on new business acquisition. Okay. So I would get a book of accounts that weren't buying from us, and I would convince them to see the light. Okay. And it turns out I'm pretty good at bullshitting. Okay.
Well, we'll let the viewers judge that, but yeah.
And getting people to trust me off the bat.
Yeah.
So succeeded really well there. And then we bought a learning and development business called lynda.com in May of 2015. And so we were helping companies hire. Now we were going to help companies develop their employees, which is the next logical step. Mm-hmm. But we had no idea what the hell we bought. So my boss got pulled over to the new business, and basically they were like, we need you to bring a team over to help us figure out what the hell did we just buy, how the hell do we monetize it and fit it into what our existing business lines are. So my boss goes, I want you on the team. What's it going to take? Yeah. And I was like, I want a $30,000 salary raise. Yeah. And he's like, well, you're going to have to cover East Coast accounts. I'm like, I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You can yourself. Yeah. So I want to move and work remote.
Yeah.
And at the time, there were maybe 2 or 3 total across all of LinkedIn employees that were remote.
Okay.
And then I got the green light, so I moved back to Melbourne. But there is no state income tax, so
Right.
13% haircut right off the top.
Yeah, there you go.
30 grand bump in salary,
Yeah.
plus my commissions. So.
Yeah, that totally kind of made sense. Isn't it funny, like, you mentioned that they didn't know what they bought. That happens so many times. People see these, this person acquired this company. And then if you're in the company, you're like, you have no idea what you have. Like, you don't even, but it's just weird how often, sidebar, it's just weird how often that seems to happen.
You're absolutely right. I think, one of my things, again, like, if I go on a business trip, I will go to the hotel and I'll go to the restaurant in the bottom of the hotel, and within 10 minutes, I will know the bartender's name. I'll know everybody around me. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just because I look like I got hit in the face with a shovel when I was born. I don't know what it is, but sympathy, call it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So when we bought this company, everybody that worked there was so worried about like what was going to happen because big corporation buying this company, and I was like, don't sweat it. Help us learn how to sell this shit. Yeah. And we'll help you to make sure you know how to work the inner workings, the system, the system at the company. So I basically became kind of like the head of the union, so to speak.
You rallied the troops, and so you did that for what? If I'm doing the math right, you did that for like 7-8 years, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was about 5 as new acquisition, and then 4 as new acquisition, and 7 as an account director. So I went from hunting new business. I would get customers that were already buying from us, and the job was basically make sure that they got value out of what they bought and get them to buy more. Yeah,
nice. And so that would happen. You're not with LinkedIn anymore, correct?
No. Right. I voluntarily stepped down in early January.
Okay, and because just didn't want to work for the man anymore. Wanted the man working for you?
Yeah, kinda. I always live my life, but I want to make more money and work less. And over the years, we made strategic business decisions well above my pay grade that caused me to make the same amount of money but work more. Yeah. And over time, I just got to the point where it's like, if I'm bringing you $20 million and I'm only making $500K, like, I could do this myself.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, you're kind of a bet on yourself kind of guy, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Reap what you sow. Yeah. And I was sowing a lot, and I wasn't reaping all the benefits of it. So I decided to step down and want to go out and be my own boss.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the kind of the stuff you're doing day to day now. I know you got your sweatshirt on, and we'll get to that. But I want to hear about the kind of the what you're doing. Yeah, like I said, day to day.
Yeah. So I took a step down in the beginning of January. Gave myself 60 days just to kind of have fun, enjoy myself, get through the Super Bowl. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses right now, because a little bit too much super, not enough bowl.
From what I can tell around here, you're not alone, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not sorry, but. I've started 2 consulting businesses, one focused specifically around small businesses. So I found that a lot of my friends have created very successful small businesses, but everything runs through them. Yeah. So in the event that they were to go on vacation, the business would basically cease to continue. Okay. Right? So I want to help them in terms of getting systems and processes in place to help them scale where they can go on vacation and know that their business is going to be fine. Yeah. And then I get a cut of that. Yeah. The other one is one specifically is consulting geared around large corporations. I spent 11 years selling into HR across hiring, learning and development, and employee engagement. So I know a thing or two, and I know a few people in the biz to help companies in the same scale their team from like a division or a department level. Okay. And I've got a tech idea that I'm working on. Not necessarily will be an app, but it also requires like electrical engineer and some physical hardware to be installed. Okay. But I think it's going to solve a huge need. Okay. And I don't think it's going to take a lot of people. Okay. And I think it's going to make a lot of money.
That's good. That's the Virgin model is you want to have for every employee you want to have 1% share of the market.
I'm thinking more of like WhatsApp, where they had 17 employees and got sold for $51 billion.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
more like that. Okay, well, I got a guy you might want to talk to down the street about doing stuff like that. But cool. I'll introduce you. He might be a guest coming up here. So.
Perfect.
We'll talk afterwards. Talk a little about your family. You said you were born in New York. You got brothers and sisters. You got talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I was born in Port Jefferson, New York, St. Charles Hospital. My family moved us up to upstate New York and then snowbirded us down here. But I've got one biological, same mom, same dad brother. I've got 4 siblings that are half siblings. Okay. And then an adopted brother, who's my favorite, ironically, of all of them. But one of which, my brother Jared, my oldest brother, passed away in 1986. Ironically, I was born in 1987. So when I was on the new acquisition team at LinkedIn, I was able to get 8 hours worth of work done in about 4 to 5. Yeah. Like I found the process, I found the pitch. Like I don't have to be here all day, and I really like giving back. Like people trust me because they know they feel that I have their best interest at heart, or I'm not going to screw you over. Yeah. So philanthropy, specifically the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, means a lot to my family. Okay. So I would work 3 days a week. I would do my full 8 hours and ho-hum it. The other days I would work 4 hours, and then I would put 4 hours in at the local Cystic Fibrosis chapter. Okay. And when I first showed up there, they had 2 people in a room with a bunch of boxes and had no clue what they were doing.
All right, this is San Francisco, right?
This is, the Northern California chapter. And they probably had, just out of the generosity of people's hearts, like 150, 200K in donations coming in every year. Okay. 5 years later, when I left, they were netting 2.5. Nice. Yeah. Nice. They did a whole gala and everything, where it became a challenge. And
nice.
To simplify, my brother passed away of cystic fibrosis. Hence why it's.
Yeah. No, and we had a friend of ours had 2 kids with CF, and that's a terrible disease, and that they need all the families need all the help they can get when the kids have that, because some of it's heart-lung transplant. It manifests itself in different ways, and some of it you can't do anything, and you just wait. So it's just horrible. So thank you for that. That's close to my heart too, because we had a really good friend.
That's crazy. Yeah. I don't know if you read the article, but Russell Wilson, the quarterback for the Broncos, was getting even more shit because apparently like 27 cents of every dollar for his Russell Wilson Foundation actually went towards whatever research is.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, it's 90 cents of every dollar.
Nice. So, if you're donating to a charity, just in general here, look into how much goes to different people, because some of it's like 3 cents. I mean, that goes to people. So speaking of that, what do you drive?
Right now I've got a loaner because my car is getting a service done, but I have 4 trucks and then a motorcycle and a jet ski.
You have 4 trucks?
I do.
How many people are you?
Just me.
Okay. So why do you need 4 trucks? Talk to me about that. That's interesting.
And when am I hanging out at your pool?
Anytime. My first car, my dad thought I was turning 15, but I was turning 14. So
really?
For $500, he bought me a Nissan hardbody pickup truck. Okay. And he sold it for $5,000. All right. Bought for 500, sold it for $5,000. Okay. And when I actually turned 15, where you get your permit in the state of Florida, I was expecting that I had $5,000 to work with. Yeah. No. That wasn't my dad. I got another $500. Yeah. So he found me a 1983 Chevy C10 short bed regular cab. Okay. And that was my truck. I ripped around. I had an inline 6. And so square body Chevys have just always had a place in my heart. Okay. And so I have 2 4-door 8-foot bed Chevy trucks, as well as a GMC Suburban. So 2 parts trucks to make one whole truck. Okay. Hey, do nothing. To Kevin would tumble. No.
All right. So you got the Chevy thing. First couple are Chevys.
Yes, I got 2 4-door 8-foot bed Chevy square body trucks. Those are both parts trucks, and then I got a 1990 GMC Suburban that I called the Ghostbuster Mobile. Yeah. When I bought it, literally has Ghostbuster logos on the side.
Nice.
But my day-to-day driver is a Mercedes GLE 63 AMG 4S.
That's a 2-cylinder, right?
It is. It is. Yeah.
No, I don't. For those of you who aren't familiar with me at all, I don't know anything about cars. Like,
It's like the Chevy Equinox, but not as nice.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
speaking of which, we got a white Equinox literally pulling in right behind us.
nice, because mine's parked just behind you over here across the street. So, and there's another one in front of that, I think.
License plate, so I can
Yeah, the sticker.
pick out his car and B, make fun of him when they miss the playoffs.
Anyway,
Yeah, I was watching
the stuff I put up with for this.
Sidebar. I was watching Bar Rescue, and one of them was a bar like right next to Wrigleyville, and the guy was just a schmuck. But yeah, because I mean, once during season you make money. Like they're 300 feet from the M line or whatever. Like gets right there. How do you not make money?
Yeah, you should be making a fortune during the season, and then you break even for 6 months, and then you make a fortune. It's in a neighborhood. I mean, there's people that live there.
U2 concert or
Yeah.
something.
Isn't DeSalle or whatever? There's a college right there too, right?
Loyola's not that far away from there. Yeah. DePaul is not that far away from there either. Yeah.
DeSalle, DePaul.
Well, and you can get on the. But I mean, Wrigleyville's a fun time. Anyway.
Digressing. So, I don't know why the Germans can engineer everything, but they can't come up with a catchy name. But I have a 603 horsepower, 627 torque Mercedes SUV.
Good night. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I have it because I live my life by the high jump spectrum.
Okay, which is what?
So if you ever see like the NFL Combine, one of the events is like you literally, there's a pole with a bunch of little flags on it, and you jump up and you smack your hand, and then it records in history where you made it to.
Okay.
I grew up in a trailer in upstate New York. I moved down here. Was voted probably most likely to go to jail. As a matter of fact, I had a Spanish teacher who voted me most likely to never have sex.
Can't get away with that one anymore. But
I proved her wrong.
All right, there you go.
She's got a very nice daughter, for the
go.
record.
All right.
And so when I was turning 30, I always had, you got to set goals.
Yep.
I'm currently in a position where like I haven't had my goals set for a little while. But you have to set them. So one of my goals was to get a Range Rover by the time I was 30. I ordered it on my 30th birthday. I waited 5 months for it, and it was great.
All right.
And then with all the economy, everything going on, used car prices skyrocketed. So when I turned the Range Rover in, I was able to get a more expensive Mercedes for a lower monthly payment.
Okay.
So I lease. Anything expensive, cars, women, boats, all of that, I lease. Kids, I borrow.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah. So, I like, if you take a look at my stature, I wasn't built for speed. But I do like to go fast. So if I can't run fast, I'm going to drive fast.
Okay. Well, I like that, making sure you have goals and making sure you're working towards some goals. And when you find you're in a part of your life where you don't have that, that's a problem, right? And you go figure out what your goals should be, and then you keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the consulting stuff, but talk about your sweatshirt and that deal there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So one of the other businesses, my original business, which was supposed to be a tax shelter, I was working with my accountant, and he was like, all right, well, we need to get you an LLC so we can basically get write-offs because I was making X amount of dollars, and it just helps from a tax perspective.
Yep.
So we used to have the same area code here in Brevard that we did in Orlando. It used to be 407, and then we fought to get 321 as our area code. And we shoot rockets off here. So 321, we call it Countdown County.
Yeah.
So when I went to set up my LLC, I was like, Countdown County. And it was available.
Yeah.
And my accountant had never heard of it before. He's like, are you kidding me? Like, that's genius.
Yeah.
We should trademark it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell, if it's available, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we trademarked it.
Okay.
And so I created a clothing line to start. Still in the works of setting up all the social media and the website stuff. But because of my affiliation with Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, there wasn't a chapter here. It was over in Orlando.
Okay.
The premise is like 20% of every sale goes to local charity.
Okay.
There are 5,000 kids in Brevard County that go to public school that don't have a roof over their head.
Yeah. Housing's a pretty big problem around here for low-income people.
Every Christmas, my mom donates about 200 or 300 prepackaged like self-care kits to a retirement home.
Okay.
Because she feels that she doesn't deserve all the money she gets from Social Security, so she gives back.
Oh,
So she'll package them all together in these little Tupperware things, and my buddy and I go deliver them.
Nice.
And then we go to the Salvation Army and we do their Thanksgiving dinner. So somebody has to run parking, and you share the food and stuff. But just giving back,
Okay.
So,
So is there a place people can find? Is it? You said you're still working on the website, but can people go? Are there stores that those are in right now, or where are you at with the whole Countdown County clothing thing?
Not yet. I'm building groundswell
for
guerrilla warfare marketing.
Okay. It's working.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. So.
Yeah, thank you. The resides.
People at the bars, they're wearing you or Johnny Surf stuff, man. So they're really supporting the
No,
So I got that. I got the photos, and then I measure twice, cut once.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I want to get everything dialed
Make
in.
it right
I want
before,
to
yeah.
Get a Shopify site set up. And,
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well, we're looking forward to it. If you want to give us some kind of link or something, we can put it in the link in the
details.
description. Link in the description. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'll definitely get you that. But no, I'm looking forward to the prospect, candidly, making a few dollars, but also giving back and helping out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing people and a lot of people that, like for me, I grew up in a trailer.
Yeah.
If I didn't get the Bright Future Scholarship to go to college, I would never have gone to college.
Yeah.
I got plenty of scholarships, right? But I was given an opportunity and I seized it. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, most of the people that do that have come from somebody who they didn't have an opportunity to begin with.
Yeah.
So
You're trying to give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to do what I can.
Trying to pay it back to
Pay it forward.
pay it
back,
forward.
too.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't pay it something.
Yeah.
I'm not good at that. So. Directions are direction. That's why I have Google Maps for directions. But what do you like to do in your free time, like around town and stuff like that?
Well, as aforementioned, I go to church several days a week at Ichabod's Beachside.
Yeah.
Gotta say my Hail Marys and Our Fathers or whatever that is. I like to golf a lot.
Okay.
So I've been spending more time. I played just outside of town, but it's called a Stream Song. It's like a pretty nice resort that's south of Lakeland, just north of Punta Gorda.
Oh, way over there. All right.
Yeah, but they got 4 of the top 20 public courses in the world.
Oh, wow. All right.
So I played that. Suntree, Duran's really good, so I golf a lot.
Okay.
Are
you good? What's your handicap?
Probably like an 18.
Oh, really?
I probably need like a stroke per hole.
All right.
I don't really warm up, and I'm
too
usually
bad.
hungover from the day before.
There you go. Yeah, I mean that adds a couple shots right there. So.
Well, I mean, it also makes you loose and screw it.
Yeah.
Like some people get into things and oh my God, it's got to be perfect.
Right.
Nike had the best campaign. Just do it.
Yeah, little sidebar. I still say the greatest live athletic feat I've ever seen in my life is my buddy drank an entire fifth of Captain Morgan's and shot 78. That was incredible. So
I played Doral, Doral Trump's course down south, the Blue Monster.
Yeah.
And I think I left the gentleman's club at 6:30, and our tee time was 8.
Okay.
So I literally just went right to there.
Yeah.
And I shot a 76.
That should teach you something. I don't know what it should teach you.
Yeah.
But there should be something. There's a lesson there somewhere.
Just do it.
I'm not. Yeah. Exactly.
Just do it.
Exactly.
Just try.
Don't think you're screwed if you think you're screwed. Do the best you can. Yeah. Maybe that's the lesson.
Energy is currency.
There you go. Oh, yeah, I like it.
Currency.
Look at you. You got all kinds. You put that in the back of your Countdown County thing. Energy is currency. I like that.
One day. It's actually a good book called The Energy Bus.
Nice.
So I can't take full credit on that.
You play Spencer Holland or this one over here?
Club Spess, I do.
Yeah.
I play that. I don't play Crane Creek, I think it is down here.
I think so.
There's a really good one, Manatee Cove, that's on base. You can get your civilian access card.
Okay.
So, I golf a lot. I do like to try, new restaurants and new things around here, like Crush 11, Stu. They got the best bartender to make it old fashioned.
Stu is awesome.
Yeah.
Link in the description again.
Their new ownership's a little suspect, but
that guy.
Stu's still here.
What are you gonna do?
Stu's still here.
Company.
Yeah. No, I like to try out the different things. Like Melbourne is cool in the sense that we have Applebee's, we have a Chili's, but it's really mom and pop. Letting people earn their stripes and their business. The Dove 2 or 3 it is down the street. That's been around for God knows how long.
Yeah. The owner's at the door every night, just smile and
passion.
he's a good guy.
I've never been to Italy, but from what I understand, people, it's their family. You had a vineyard, that wine is your life, and you eat good food. You do it as a big community, and I feel like Melbourne's kind of like a a melting pot of all of those things. But if you look up and down the street, name one chain.
Yeah, there isn't one.
There's not.
This is the smallest town I've ever lived in.
Yeah, but it's small but mighty. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's great. I mean, yeah, this isn't like a place where I come from in Minnesota. If your grandparents aren't buried there and you didn't go to at least 3 years of high school there, doesn't matter how old you are, you're not from there. And like here, you're from here. Even if you're on vacation, like people just don't care. Like they're just like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Michigan, or I'm from.
That's not true. There are little turf wars underground.
Are there? I haven't seen it.
Nobody's going to come in here and markedly mess up like a.
Oh no. I'm just saying that if you come down here, if you're on vacation or if you're thinking of moving here for retirement or whatever, you can fit. There's places to fit in here that it's not hard to fit in.
Yep. As long as you seem like an honest, good person, you will be accepted.
Yeah.
I've lived here like a year. I've already got like a zillion haters.
Yeah.
That means they know me.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that.
No such thing as bad press, my friend.
Right.
But you also have a lot of good close friends.
Yeah.
Right. Like people gonna hate no matter what.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
You're gonna find people who are out. I say that there are people just determined to have a bad time. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Nope.
You told me somebody keyed your Mercedes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's simply one of those like. Nice
No, they didn't key it. They put nails in my tires.
I mean, I don't know how many times I have to apologize. Jesus,
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Well,
I'm 35. I've hit levels of success.
There you go.
At 65, I don't know if I'd have ever reached, but I did it. It's okay if somebody's jealous. All I ask, if you're gonna be jealous, don't focus on what I'm doing. Focus on how you can get you above me.
Yeah.
If I can help you be better than me, I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I said, don't hate, motivate.
Yeah.
If somebody has something you want, unlock how to get that for yourself.
Yeah, ask questions. 2 blocks at best. Show me who your friends are. I'll show you where you're going.
There you go. Yeah. No, so there's a lot of good stuff here, man. So thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else you want to mention before we kind of wrap it up here, or?
Nah, I just
you got your plugs in for your Countdown County, which I love. I mean, I never even thought about it. We moved here and it's like, oh, area code 321. Okay, that's cool. And then, like you said, the shooting off rockets.
I'll let you know when I get the big and tall section, Lurch.
I appreciate it. Well, apparently you got the big section already.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't thick, I'm juicy, boy. What's you talking about?
Well, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming down and talking to us. This is awesome. So, again, links in the description for the Countdown County stuff, and thanks again.
My pleasure.